Welcome back. This is round 2 of week 5. Calm Warrior already went, and as you can see, I already won. He did not clear one of my rooms. That's one of the, I guess, fun things about expecting to lose is that I get to try some interesting things on defense, and sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. Today it worked in my favor. I don't know how long that's gonna last, but you know what? We take it because this means I'm going at least a 2-0 this week. I think, yeah, actually, yes, both of these folks also have Annihilus. Calm Warrior also has Annihilus, so glad I managed to get one here. But yeah, so at least a 2-0, maybe a 3-0 if we get lucky. We'll see tomorrow what happens, but for now, let's look at round 2. Alright, stage 1, as is tradition, a different attack and 2 Starjammers. So it looks like they may have fixed Thunderstrike special. A lot of folks have been saying that he just doesn't melt everything now, which on one hand is good because he was just trivializing any team he could special into. On the other hand, if this was changed, it's probably caught some folks by surprise because attacks that used to work suddenly don't. But again, no idea if they did change something, but it definitely seems that way. Yeah, you'll see how I managed to move things around to make this work, because in most cases, being able to spare Mephisto and Blastar and Thunderstrike is kind of rare. Calm Warrior definitely had a lot on defense, but the puzzle was solved in an interesting way. So anyway, this attack is, I mean, you can see four turns. So brought Storm here to stun Havoc, Stunner retaliates. Then I Mephisto basic into Howard. I just want to get him out of here, and he just immediately dies because it's an empowered basic plus the Blastar basic. Then I special into Lilandra because I want to ability block her. Do a lot of damage, which brings what's his face down, but in this case, you could argue Thunderstrike special would be the best, but also the ultimate is not bad at all. Like, a lot of people call him Team Luthor, which I don't think is fair, because yes, he doesn't do much in the older Blastar days where you would, get your 5 bomb bursts and blow things up, so he was kind of like a standing passive. If you let him take turns, though, he will do really bad things to other teams. So it's kind of flipped. When he doesn't get bomb bursts, Thunderstrike is the star of the show. So, because the ultimate applies blind to support, does a bunch of piercing damage, trauma, which is great, and it does a life steal. Reduces positive effects on enemies, and then it does these fun things where if it's a hero, it'll ability block, which means it can get resisted, so keep that in mind, or blocked. You cannot resist ability energy drain on villains, which is not the case here, so it's just an ability block. But it also gives safeguard immunity defense up and calls an assist, and is unavoidable. So the ultimate is really, really strong. It's just usually it was overshadowed by the special because it would just kill anything. So if this is no longer murdering things from 100%, then you now are back to having a choice between, do I want to kill a specific clump and heal and cleanse a little bit and a blind on someone, or do I want to kind of spread my damage out and ability block someone, but also the trauma can be very helpful in cases where the fight goes long, because if Thunderstrike is not ending the fight, sometimes this trauma can be key in winning. But anyway, back to this fight. So yeah, he is going to do his ultimate, and with the Shadow King and all the Raider procs, everything just falls over. So really, really efficient Mephisto check. Really efficient Starjammer attack compared to what I've been doing recently, because these two are just really, really powerful characters to bring in, plus Mephisto and just the control here. So if you can afford this, it's a very good attack. Alright, so stage 2. So I did the shitty version of this attack yesterday and failed it, and I explained why it failed and how to patch that up. But today I was able to spare Emma, which makes this a very, very safe attack. So technically you don't need Guardian here, although that surprised me because usually, because you have Iron Patriot here, Doctor Strange would get the darkness, but Damon did now, which kind of surprised me, so I would have gotten an offense up regardless. So this guy was useless. I could have just brought in APOC instead, and, maybe squeezed out 1 efficiency extra, basically. But I think this is a 1929, so like, if I lose to 1 efficiency because of this, sure, why not? Accursed on defense, fairly rare to see these days, but this is what is in stage 3. So the reason why Accursed are good in 3 is because the room rule here is negated by them, for them, I guess, because if you pepper them with vulnerables, they will still do a shit ton of damage, but Hood here prevents people from getting extra damage unless it's from actual positive effects, so, you know, offense up. Which means Accursed don't really care about the room roll when you're attacking into them. And then Leader's here just to make them tankier, which is fine, because that can sometimes break some attacks if they don't manage to kill key people in time. And actually, this attack, you'll see, it looks great. I feel like, because that was a 5-diamond Helverine, if that was like a 4-diamond Satana, this could have gone wrong, because these two folks take a while to get through. Same thing with Juggernaut. Like, there were a couple of moments in this fight where I was kind of sweating, and you'll see why. So even though I thought I was overkilling this, it could have gone wrong, and that's purely because Leader here is giving them a lot of health and armor, and they're surviving past expectations. Because Sentry generally prevents damage and health increases, but he doesn't stop armor increases. So they're still tankier even though you're bringing Sentry in. And Sentry is always good in room 3, I say this every time, so he kind of slots into this room and breaks whatever they're trying to do on this side pretty well. So Songbird is great versus Accursed because it's a very fast ultimate that gets his reactive thing out of the way. So an ultimate is done, which means passive, which means this thing now goes away, because until someone does an ultimate, he has crazy resistance, can only lose up to 20% of his health, and he does this clear as well. So you want this out of the way as fast as possible. So that means, you know, the offense down that Songbird gives goes away, but who cares? It's a bunch of damage, and now you don't have to worry about anything else. So here, I was a little concerned. I guess I shouldn't have been, though, because I was like, oh no, I'm stuck on the Juggernaut taunt because Songbird didn't flip it. But, I mean, he's going to decay everything anyway, so I didn't need to stress it. Now, if you hadn't... No, so here's the key thing, and why I'm saying Songbird is really good here. Imagine if this was the board, and you hadn't used an ultimate yet, which I'm about to. Juggernaut would have just cleared all these debuffs, and in some cases, like, you want that stuff. So anyway, Blade goes on Satana because she's the #1 target. Also, I've noticed Blade is getting a little bit stat check these days because you also want a blind on Helverine because his ultimate is not unavoidable. But this guy has 5 diamonds, and you'll see now he resists the blind. So that was also a little spooky for me, because I'm like, oh shit, even if I kill everyone and he somehow survives, I'm in trouble. And I guess this is also where I got a little sweaty, because Juggernaut did his reflexive taunt, and I was worried I wouldn't be able to kill these two. I don't think I would have lost because of it, maybe, but it would have screwed my efficiency. So Darkstar does a bunch of damage. I made her a strike. Did I make her a striker? I forget. And I can't check again. Anyway, she's 3 diamonds with offense up. I guess she gets that after the ultimate, but she hit them hard enough to just make Juggernaut not a problem. Then Oath goes, and this is your last chance to control or kill them. So I think overall I was fine here. Even if one of them took a turn, because Sentry is here, it wouldn't have really mattered. But as you can see, Leader can still spice things up a little bit in terms of accursed health thresholds and armor thresholds. So if you tried to, let's say, do an attack here that didn't have Sentry, but you expected to control them all so that they just don't take a turn, or if they take a turn, they have like blinds and stuff, this one could have definitely gone south. And here's the big green dude. I'm not going to show the first hit because it's just a stack, and you don't need Storm to sack any team if you're just looking to get abilities out, because you still get their special energy out, and if anything, Beast might help you survive longer if he gets to take a turn. The cleanup is interesting because I could have been more efficient, but as always, it's a hindsight 2020 kind of thing. So let's look at this one. And the main difference after doing an Immortal X-Men sack against this team is that you can't stop Eclipse from using her ultimate. And her ultimate does actually hurt a lot after the buff. Because she generally doesn't get her second turn to soak it on the first one with IMX. So she gets to do attack all enemies for 500% damage, but she also got this in her buff, so she's doing 650% damage. So this is a basically maxed out Eclipse. I assume that's Raider 5. She's also G21, so I was just assuming I can survive her hit, but I might lose some folks along the way. So you'll see what happened. So Executioner is great for the cleanup. Technically, you can ability block him or stun him or do whatever you want to him, because once Control Rod is over, he's kind of just a standing passive, unless you let him take a turn, but you generally would never do that, because if you let him do his ultimate, he will just wipe you, so you kind of have to control him. So Executioner here, ultimate, will ability block him and usually kill him, because since the rest are blocking everything, he's always the lowest health, so he's ability blocked in case he survives, but also it's rare that he'll survive, and I got lucky with a diamond pull, so this guy is 3 diamond and he's G21, so he hits pretty hard. Now Jeff is always good for clump. Didn't really DK much, again, lots of defense ups, but whatever. Now here's where I could have done this better. I was not sure if the Quasar special would call in an Odin assist, which I know it will after seeing a different replay. So I played it safe and used the Quasar ultimate because that's unblockable, so I was just going for damage. So I figured, you know what, let me see if I can just kill this Speedball or Eclipse before they get to go, which again, hindsight, I think I could have. But anyway, I went for this play. And he's a striker, so that wasn't enough damage. I think the Odin special would have probably done a little less damage overall. Not probably, it would have done less damage overall, but it would have meant that I could special with Odin here. And the reason why that would have been good is, and also, sorry, Odin was a raider. If he was a striker here and I had just targeted Eclipse, she actually would have died here. So this is you know, another hindsight 2020 type thing of, if I can somehow afford to do this attack again, I'm just gonna make Odin a striker. But also he won the coin flip, so if he doesn't win the coin flip, this is irrelevant. So probably what I described before with the special is the way to go, because now she does her ultimate, hurts quite a bit and heals them up. You see Jeff barely survived. I'm a little surprised he was able to tank that, but maybe he didn't get crit, and if he gets crit, then he'll just die. Executioner, everyone kind of took the hit pretty well. These guys had defense up, which helped a lot. And then because they're clumped, you want to do the null special because it's more damage than the ultimate, and that's it. So yeah, I think if I had done the Odin special, I would have had my team would have just been tankier basically, because can I pull it up? Let's see, let's make sure I'm not making this up, because Odin special, let's see, blah 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 blah, heal self for a shit ton, offense up, defense up, speed up, and immunity. Okay, he doesn't give barrier to everyone, so I'm pretty sure he did not have defense up when she attacked, so that would have just been more efficient, but then that's one less swipe, so I don't know. Either way, this works pretty well. We'll see how easy it'll be to replicate this attack, because I brought in Quasar to not have offense down from Eclipse's ultimate passive thing that she does, but then again, if I had Odin specialed, I would have also had immunity, so there's ways to make this attack work without some of these people. Odin was also kind of overkill here. I think there's other things you could bring in to help with this, but I just wanted to play it super safe because I wasn't sure how much damage the Eclipse ultimate was going to do, so this is my way of making sure I don't drop an attack on the cleanup. Room 5. So this is the main reason why I was able to move so many things around to tackle the other rooms, because usually, because of the way I have my defense, I have to either daemon this room or throw my Thunderstrike Blastar and Quasar and Shadow King and Odin into this room, which is it's a very expensive attack when you think about it that way, because you saw like Thunderstrike and Blastar can move to a different room, then Quasar and Odin move to a different room. So I like that this enabled me to have more puzzle pieces, and it worked out pretty well this round. If someone had Phoenix Force on defense, and I was forced to use Phoenix Force, my Daring Warriors against Phoenix Force, this would have changed the whole equation. Who knows what I would have done? I probably would have had to do the Emma X and Captain Britain into the Starjammers, which would mean the inefficient attack against the Blue Marble team that he had. So Crucible is all about the puzzle. So right now, because of what my defense is like, Daring Warriors opens up more options for me. Anyway, sorry, I ramble a lot about my thinking. The reason why this works well is because Daring Warriors was kind of built to counter New Mutants, because the Daring Warrior kits are very targeted, and they do a lot of things to stop controllers and ability block them, and it's just the way the sequence works is very favorable. So the reason why Black Cat is here is because I wanted to stop this guy, because the Eclipse passive on spawn, and this is something to keep in mind, she will silence Trauma the Protector with the highest speed. This guy's 129, this guy's 127, so if I let Mephisto go, he's actually going to give all his buffs out to this team and make it a very inefficient attack. And we don't want that. So Black Cat has a Trauma Stun, and she actually, I don't think I've ever seen her miss her stun, honestly. And this is a 5 diamond G21 Mephisto, and I did get lucky with diamonds on her too in, I can't remember which orb, and she's a skirmisher. And does she get extra? She doesn't get extra focus on this, but Trauma Stun is really good and really fast, because it means you actually need the trauma, otherwise Mephisto will shake it off. But she's a skirmisher, and the reason why she has a bunch of focus is because she gets it based on her death proofs. So while she has death proof, she gets 10% extra focus per death proof, and she spawns with 9, so she gets 90% death proof. So let's see. So she has 202,000 focus with Skirmisher at 5 diamonds. And he has 176k resistance. So my Black Cat will always land that Trauma Stun. I don't know how well this works with a 4 or 3 diamond Black Cat, but I still think it'll probably be okay. But just keep in mind, if for some reason she loses her death proofs or can't get them, her focus is incredibly low. So never bring her if she's not guaranteed to keep her death proofs. So anyway, on to the fight. So we stun Mephisto so he doesn't do his ultimate, or empowered ultimate, because that's going to give him a bunch of buffs and the BFE and safeguarded. We don't want any of that. Now Cannonball goes, but because he is silenced, he doesn't really do anything other than damage, and obviously it hurts her because she's low stat, but everyone else is kind of like whatever. Then Eclipse, I hit into here to just pepper everyone with debuffs at this point, because Cannonball already had everything, so now we go here. And then Thrasher comes in and applies trauma on top of everything, plus he ability blocks controllers, so Warlock is done. I mean, the whole team is done right now because they have trauma silence. This is why Franklin was really good in that season, where if you have silence you can apply trauma. It's because the minute this lands, new mutants lose a lot of their recovery. They don't get their death proofs, they don't get their dodges. They still get heals from magic, but what's annoying about them is usually all the dodges and death proofs and all that stuff. So they get none of that. Now she still gets to go. She can't decay anything because she's silenced, so it's just raw damage. Daredevil goes and does a lot of damage. Mine is a striker, and I've taken him to DD9, so he's generally big. So he just does a lot of damage. Speedball special on this clump because I just want them dead. Boop. And he's also striker. She falls over because of the damage and the bleeds. Then Eclipse ultimate basically ends it. Mephisto barely survives, but one more turn, and boop. So yeah, you'll lose a little bit of efficiency in this matchup. If this was just raw New Mutants, it would have been even better. So sure, bringing in Black Cat cost me a little bit, but I think from an efficiency perspective, if Mephisto had gotten his battlefield effect off, even though Thrasher should remove it pretty soon afterwards, I think because of the I guess yeah, Thrasher would have decayed everything. Anyway, I didn't want Mephisto doing anything stupid, so I stopped him from doing that. Maybe it wouldn't have mattered, but here we are. And finally, room 6, arguably the best room this season because it lets you do different attacks into different defenses almost every week. It's fun seeing what people have chosen to put in here. This is probably the most annoying version if all you care about is soaking up efficiency. And this is a pretty big team, 5 on Lady Bullseye, 5 on Victoria Hand, 5 on Hyperion. This guy's new stats with 3 and Bronze or whatever. But as you can see, very inefficient. Because similar to yesterday, it just takes forever to kill them. And with this configuration, they're getting heals from Victoria Hand, they're getting heals from Brawn. This guy heals himself a lot, so killing them just takes a very long time. Now, I brought my own Victoria Hand here. I was debating Victoria or Brawn because Victoria is just better passive healing because I wasn't sure what happens if he hits my Hyperion, but then I hit his Hyperion. Brawn heals really well if he gets to take a turn. So anyway, I chose to bring Victoria in here just to play a little safe, and also her ultimate is pretty good. But this one here, I do get resist checked a little bit, which is kind of annoying and made it even worse. So was it a one-shot? Yes, but it was very inefficient. So that's something to consider for next time. Maybe I need to bring something that's not Victoria, and what that is, TBD. But anyway, part of the problem with my attack is that I'm not going to get safeguarded immunity because Nova here is charged, and I could have brought in Old Man Logan instead of Victoria and then Shaw, I guess. But then I'm still not going to get safeguard immunity because Daredevil's the one giving it. So Nova in this room is generally really good and soaks up a ton of efficiency for a lot of reasons. So anyway, I hit Hyperion second. Sorry, just rolling back. So his Lady Bullseye hit into my Hyperion, so my entire team gets 3% turn meter. Then my Hyperion does the same to his, and I sort of assumed that my entire team had already gone past the threshold to take a turn, but I guess not, because of where people all have already ticked over. So it doesn't exactly play out the way I thought, but it's close enough. So this is the part that really is unfortunate for me today, because Swordmaster Special is meant to decay a bunch of things, which I can't pull it up again, but he decays Safeguard and Immunity, if I remember correctly. And he does not do that for everyone. Like, even from this guy, it got resisted, which is pretty crazy. Can I pull it up now? No, damn it. So anyway, which means I'm just stuck on these guys. I guess even if it had worked on him, I would have been stuck on him, which is also annoying, because it's... To kill this guy, you kind of have to let him take 3 turns to naturally drop the charges. So yeah, the unfortunate thing here is I should have maybe made Hyperion a Raider so I can have vulnerables to hit into, because there's nothing here. And my Moon Girl is a striker, or maybe she should have been a Raider to set up everyone else for their second turns. But yeah, as you can see here, Victoria's just passively healing. Now Brawn gets to do his ultimate and hurts my Victoria, but they were already kind of healthy, I guess, so it's kind of irrelevant. Now my Daredevil gets to go, and he gets to cleanse stuff. Maybe the ultimate would have been better here to flip the the negative effects. But anyway. Then Nova goes, he does his ultimate. One of the good reasons for Victoria is that this should stun someone. I guess my Hyperion also resisted it, but she would have cleansed that stun from him, which is another reason why I had her. So anyway, now his Victoria goes, and unfortunately, because I never got immunity, she gets the ability to block these two. So I did get a little bit worried here. I was like, uh-oh, am I about to lose this? So I get to do the same, but he does have immunity, so it doesn't really do too much. There's a world where doing a basic would have been better here, because a basic would have given Victoria charges, and charges are how she heals her team. So I kind of wasted the ultimate, potentially, and I wish I could pull up what it does, but I don't think I got anything other than a heal out of that, basically. So yeah, Hyperion is kind of like a sitting duck here. He's only going to do its basic. The basic does heal him a little bit, but he's also heal blocked, so it doesn't matter. Now, I did the ultimate here because I'm just trying to kill this man as fast as possible. And I don't think I had energy for the special anyway. Now we're getting somewhere because my Moon Girl kills Hyperion, and so his synergies start breaking apart. But I'm ability blocked, so all I can do here is basic, and this Hyperion is not long for this world. So Nova does a special, almost kills him. I do a special into this guy, which heals him a little bit back up, but I'm just stuck on him. That's the problem. Oh, and I do get charges back with the special. That's cool. Everyone's kind of running out of energy, and the good news is that because he doesn't have Swordmaster on the other side, he's not getting any energy back. So one of the reasons why I get to win this is because I do loop around back to my abilities because of Swordmaster's passive. But every time you hit into a defense down, you have a 50% chance to get some energy back. Now this is where I lose my Hyperion. So yeah, as you can tell, this is a somewhat equal fight, but is also very annoying. I was debating if I'm going to lose because I can't kill them because they're healing so much, and still here I'm just stuck. But luckily this time I do get trauma heal block, so I'm making good progress. But Victoria will decay that when she has charges, so again, she is just very annoying. And I'm just desperately trying to get past this guy. Now he does his basic. When he does a basic, he actually removes the charges. So at this point, he's killable. But obviously, you know, the entire team looping back 3 times is not great. You know, 32 actions is miserable. So, you know, Victoria gets her her ultimate back. Actually, I think her ultimate also gives energy, so I guess it wasn't wasted before. It helped me get back to my abilities sooner. Because I think it gives 1 energy to the entire team. Yeah, at this point the fight's very much over because I get to do abilities and they're just basicing. But it just takes forever. So I'm just gonna click through here a lot. Basic, yada yada. And every time she basics, she's also gonna heal more. So this is a very sustaining team, very annoying. I could see it beating teams that are lower in diamonds, or if you don't have Swordmaster and you just run out of steam. I do think this team could out-sustain you in some cases. But I have luckily kept enough tools on offense where that's not a problem. So, apologies for the super long room 6 and for me rambling a bunch, but I'm doing these kind of unfiltered, unscripted, so you get whatever pops into my head at the time. That was the end of round 2. Luckily it was a win, so we're 2-0. We'll probably get slapped around tomorrow, but you never know. Human error is always a thing. So see you next time.